Attention. This is the show countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Hey, we are here today and we are feeling great. We are feeling fine, super fantastic, and I hope you're feeling super fantastic today. Today is a good day because I have some wonderful guests here today. But I just want to, I have to give my props to my sponsors, because without my sponsors, I wouldn't be here. We got to keep these lights on. You know what I mean? We got to keep things going right. So that the sponsors, they paved the way, and we love our sponsors. So we have we have some video sponsors, and I would like to play some of them so that they can get their point across. And we're gonna go a little bit like that.
2 for 2 Boobs, an organization created by Tallulah Anderson, a 2-time breast cancer survivor. 2 for 2 Boobs is dedicated towards providing education, information, resources, and advocacy for breast health and breast cancer prevention, while advocating for survivors and those who have been touched in some way by breast cancer. Your support for 2 for 2 Boobs will allow us to help others take charge of their breast health and provide information and resources to assist those who fought the fight and are survivors like Tallulah Anderson. If you would like to donate to 2 for 2 Boobs, you can do so by going to 2for2boobs.org. That is 2for2boobs.org, just like Tallulah Anderson. In loving memory of Anita Mayo and her 5 children, Constance Anderson Collier, Anita's mother, established the Anita Mayo and Kids Scholarship Fund. The funds donated to the Anita Mayo and Kids Scholarship is given away each year to assist with college tuition and/or books and supplies. To be eligible for this scholarship, you must be a senior in high school, planning to attend college, and/or a student who is currently a college undergrad with a 2.8 GPA. If you are interested in donating or applying for this scholarship, send your inquiries to amkscholarship@gmail.com. You can also send your donation to amkscholarship@gmail.com through PayPal. You have a blessed day. And remember, education is the key to our future. So please donate to this blessed cause, the Anita Mayo and Kids Scholarship Fund. Thank you.
Hey, and we are back here today, and I'm feeling so flabbergastedly feeling myself right now because I'm happy. And I hope you're happy too, because today is a good day to be happy, especially every day. And can I get a witness out there in TV land? I'm talking to all 7 million of you right now that today's a good day to be happy. And the one reason why today is a good day, because I have a special guest on here today, somebody that makes me happy every time I hear her sing, perform, somebody that makes me feel so much joy because she has a powerful voice. She's a singer, and it's a pleasure to have her on my show today. Today we have the wonderful, the incomparable, the wow, the very talented SUSAYE Green, y'all. Come on, clap your hands, stomp your feet, do something up in here. You know, oh, it's so wonderful to have you here today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
And I didn't realize you're so beautiful up in person. It's like, wow, even more.
Well, wow. Very kind of you.
Well,
thank
you know,
you.
I think it just goes with the talent.
Well,
when you have superb talent, you have to have superb beauty to go with it. Isn't that the Supremes?
I can't say that it doesn't help, you know? I'm very, very proud to have been in such fine company as the Supremes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on now. I mean, those are the divas. Those are the beautifulest women. They had the most class, the most elegance, you know, and I know from your resume, you know, and I love your resume. Your resume is something.
Thank you.
Her resume is so extensive, ladies and gentlemen. It makes you read it over and over. You can learn stuff about what you want to do in music with her resume. You know, it's a good thing for the young people out there. Find out where you can find SUSAYE Green of the Supremes resume and read it and then apply it to your life, because it's some good things, some great things what you're doing. We're going to start off with your career.
All right.
You had a wild, great, wonderful time so far.
Still going.
Still going.
So blessed.
So blessed.
You know, I started as a little bitty baby. I did baby food commercials. My mom and dad were some of the first black DJs in America. In Denver, Colorado, they started, and it's in my blood, you know, to perform. I went to performing arts in New York, studied and majored in drama.
The School of Fame.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, when you get there, you already know you're good because you've auditioned. Out of 5,000 kids, they take a small number every year. And the whole idea is to hone your craft.
Exactly.
To become the best at what you do. You take voice and diction, you take dance, extensive drama classes, and it's just, you know, preparing yourself.
Right. So all that drive and that inspiration came from your parents.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It sure did. So
because as a baby or was a toddler or something like that, you were doing baby commercials, and from the baby commercials you went on to work with Harry Belafonte.
Oh yes, I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, I was maybe 13 or 14, and Mr. S. Carroll Buchanan, who was the head of our choir at school, asked me to join in this small group of kids who were the singers, the ones who sang the leads all the time. We went into Manhattan and met Mr. Belafonte, and we did an album with him called Streets I Have Walked. And I don't know, I've always had just tremendous opportunities. Even with him, he asked, after we did the Bell Telephone Hour twice, which was a huge variety show, he asked if I would go on the road with him. And of course my father said no, because I was just a little baby kid, you know. So it was for the best.
Right, well.
But the education was always the emphasis in our family. So you prepared for whatever it was that you were going to do, and you had this drive, and you always had that passion, which I hope we'll talk about.
Indeed, indeed. And thus it gave you that discipline, which is well needed, you know, even with talking to and having an everyday conversation with someone, let alone the entertainment business. You know, you have to know how to have, you know, you have to have a discipline and everything. And I can hear it in your music. I can hear it when you're singing and in your writing, because you had the pleasure of writing with some very powerful people in the industry. And you know, I'm just like, people, you have to listen to what she's about to say, because I'm going to ask her to tell me about some of these ordeals that she went through some of the most powerful songwriters in the industry, such as yourself.
What a blessing. What a blessing.
You know, you guys teamed up together. And first of all, now, you work with one of my favorite songwriters, singers, and performers, Ray Charles.
Yes, indeed.
And you were a Marvelette, and you were a featured.
I wasn't a Marvelette, a Raylette.
A Raylette.
Yeah.
A Raylette. and a featured artist and singer in the Ray list.
Yes, indeed.
Can you tell us about that and what that experience was about?
Well, my mom took me up to Ray's office because of a wonderful gentleman named D. Irvin, who had "Would You Like to Swing on a Star?" It was his big hit. And D was a writer and was in charge of Ray's publishing. At that time. He told her he was looking for someone, and we went up there. I auditioned, and I went to work that evening.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed. You know, but I'm a fast learner. I've always been a fast learner. Plus, I can read, and it helps. You know, Ray was what an example of digging in. You know, you sing those same songs night after night. You always would go deep with them, and it taught me a tremendous lesson. You give out. You give your whole self into it. I was very blessed enough to have a solo always in his show. That was my deal. I sang a solo. I sang Funny Valentine, many songs, and he would play the piano. And there's some film online that you can see of examples of that. I did Funny Valentine, and we were in Paris in the South. But what an experience! That big band, 18 pieces.
Yes.
And you know, you're hanging out with the big boys.
Yes.
So you were depended on. I was always depended on because I did learn so quickly to know everyone's part, to know what everyone needed to be singing. Because Ray would call you out on stage. He would say, "I can't hear you," but he never got a chance to do that to me. You know, because I believe in being, you know, it's not just having talent. It's having talent on the day.
On the day.
You know, you got to bring it.
Right.
And when you're with a group of musicians of that caliber, Johnny Coles on the horn, you know, on the trumpet, and so many musicians just come into my mind. And Ray, once again, this tremendous, powerful talent that he had, and he knew his audience. It didn't matter. He always said, you know, the fact that I am blind is just, you know, it's just what it is.
Right, and just by
but it doesn't make you stupid.
Right, it doesn't make you stupid.
Oh no!
And you have to be extra talented to be able to play that way without seeing.
That's right.
You know, he had a special quality. You know, and just the chords alone build up your harmony and your strength of singing. Yeah,
sure.
You know, I can imagine. You know,
just the business acumen that he had. He was the first artist to own his own masters, and he would just say, you know, you don't let people take advantage of you. That's why you're prepared. It's called show business. It's not just show. And I think that's a great mistake that a lot of young people now, particularly, because the quality of music, you know, you can always find good music if you look for it. It's out there. There are a lot of artists, a lot of new artists, a lot of artists, classic artists who've been around a long time, but it's seeking it out. And the standards are not as high. People don't expect as much anymore. And that means that young people go in it, I want to be famous. Well, you know, it takes a certain discipline. It takes wanting to be, you're alone a lot.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
You're alone. But you got to prepare.
You hear that? You hear that? You hear that? This is, I mean, come on, this is wisdom right here. I mean, I'm just asking all the big wigs, all the people out there, Oprah, you know, The View. If you're watching right now, this is one of the Supremes you need to have on your show. You know, because she could tell you like it is about the music business. She don't hold back no punches.
Well, I've seen a lot, you know.
Yeah, and well, tell us about your experience with working with the wonderful, the great Denise Williams.
Niecy is just a delightful artist. You know, she's very light of spirit, but she's a serious woman. You know, when we were in Wonder Love, we sang background for Stevie Wonder, and once again, I always had, you know, solos in the show. But being able to work with Denise and Shirley Brewer were my favorite too. And other people came and went, you know, as they do in show business. But they were the staples. Along with Mary Lee Whitney, there were many girls that came in and left. You know, Kathy Collier, brilliant singers. But the thing about working with Denise is Denise had 2 babies, and that was her focus. You have to survive and you have to provide. She was a single mom at that time. And we wrote a lot of material. We wrote Free, which became her first million seller and #1 record in England and many places throughout the world. Yes. Hey, you know, we all got to be free.
Yeah. And that song is a sexy song. Yeah. It's not just, I mean, you could take it a whole lot of different ways. But I saw videos of you singing it live, and you were so sensual and so sexy with it. I said, wait a minute, you gave me a whole different perspective on the song.
Well, you know, we're individuals. We're all individuals. Nate Watts, who was the bass player for Stevie Wonder, Hank Red, who was the band leader at that time before Greg Fillinganes, and Niecy and I wrote Free. And Niecy says, now this is her version of the story. She says that they went in and they were doing the music. You know, that's what was going on. We rehearsed 6 days a week, Wonder Love. What a band, Lord have mercy, of young people. Michael Cimbello of Flashdance fame. Oh, yeah. He's a maniac. Woo! Some writer and singer himself. He was the lead guitarist with Ben Bridges. We rehearsed every single day. And Nate Watts is one of the most talented, brilliant bass players of all. And he started off, you know, and it was in a Brazilian feel at first. Ooh. Free was a Brazilian vibe.
I never realized that.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't, because, well, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maurice put the fang on it. You know, he made it a straight up pop record that was R&B as well. It had the soul and the feeling, but it had a pop top to it. And I think that's why even now people will say, oh, that's my song, that's my jam. Right. We made babies to that song and all that. You know.
That's right. A whole lot of babies were made.
Sure. I'm not responsible for that. But I believe when you put your all in a song, you don't know what's going to happen to it. But when it comes back, you know, and thankfully with the web now, people can reach you. You can find me on Twitter, and it's at SUSAYE, SUSAYE. You can always catch me there. You can always find me. I'm on Facebook. I have a couple of pages on Facebook. I have an inspirational page which is called SUSAYE Green Inspire. And then there's my personal page which has a whole lot of other stuff on it. But
we want to get to because your resume is so extensive and everything, you know, and I appreciate a person that's done a lot in the music industry because it just paves the way for everyone. And you've been a big inspiration for me too as well, by the way.
Thank you.
And I just want to know about your experience with for the sake of time, how we're doing. I just want to know about your experience with working with Spike Lee, Stevie Wonder, on the Michael Jackson album. You know,
what a thrill! What a thrill!
What a thrill! Yes.
Well, that happened because Spike went up to Universal in New York, Universal Records, and he spoke with Harry Wanger. Harry Wanger's in charge of the division that puts out reissues and a lot of jazz music, a lot of the, what do you call it, just the whole discography. He asked Harry if he'd get in touch with me about doing this film. And when you know when I got that call, I'm like, oh!
I can imagine.
Spike Lee! I didn't really know what it was about at the time until someone called me and they filled me in on what it was. You know, of course we know now it was Michael Jackson from Motown to Off the Wall.
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. And then the pictures, you know, the still photos that we did really show the true joy of that event, of making that film. Stevie Wonder, on the day that I was there, Stevie was there, Berry Gordy was there. Oh, just so many people. Greg Fillinganes. When Greg Fillinganes, who became Michael's band leader,
correct.
When I met Greg, and Greg came into Wonder Love, Greg was 18 years old.
Oh, he was on fire back then.
And we called him Captain Quasar because you could play something, Steve would play something for him. He could play it with no music. He could just hear it, memorize it, and spit it back out. And it was like Old Home Week. You know, it really was. It was a tremendous opportunity. But Spike, being able to watch Spike and watch him work, you know, I'd love to be around him all the time to watch that process. He's very focused. He knows exactly what he wants. He's extremely outspoken about what he wants, what he doesn't want. If he doesn't like something, it's cut, and it's no bones about it.
Well, now hold that thought, because we're going to go do part 1 and part 2. I want to hear a lot more about this project you did with Spike Lee and Stevie Wonder. You know, and Actually, you know what? I have also a great surprise for the audience because she's going to sing live today. And before we do that, you know, we want to take a little break and have our sponsors or whoever is going to come on and do the do. But you're watching the Dwayne Anderson Man of Many Voices show. And we are here today because today is a good day because we got SUSAYE Green in the house, y'all. I'm on fire because of that. Woo!